Speaking of good line play, speaking of teams that just want to line it up and run it down your throat, Athens, Georgia on Saturday night, Kentucky coming off running for 1 billion yards against Florida. They'll be playing a Georgia team that barely escaped Auburn. Georgia is a 14.5-point favorite in this game. The total is 48.5. Jeff, this feels like the best remaining team on Georgia's schedule, unless Tennessee, keeps clicking, and that game's tough because it's in Knoxville. But if Georgia gets past this one, I don't know who can stop them. But I do feel like we're due for Georgia just playing a complete game at some point.
But haven't we said that for a couple of weeks now? Maybe that's not who they are this year.
Well, they're not as good as they were last year. And absolutely. I think it's unfair of us to hold them to the standard of being as good as they were last year. When you think about all they lost, and it's what's compounding this is they lost so much in 2021, yet they still replenished it in 2022 and might have even been better. Like, to do that 3 years in a row is impossible.
Yes.
It's just not going to happen. I mean, and I was thinking about the 2021 defensive line that had Devontae Wyatt and Jordan Davis and Trevon Walker and Jalen Carter all playing at the same time. I don't know if they ever played together at one time because of the way the rotation worked.
Yeah.
But that's essentially like playing an above average NFL defensive line with a regular college offensive line. You have no chance.
Correct. That's why I think we've seen a little bit of regression at Georgia. They've lost talent, but also the quarterback's just not as good either, right? And we keep waiting for this moment where they just become Georgia again. Andy, we played 5 games now. This feels like this is what Georgia's going to be, right? Yep. They're gonna still try to beat you up in the trenches, throw the ball to 19, and hope he makes a bunch of plays for you. And so you have a Kentucky team that wants to match that style, right? They want to run the football. We saw last weekend. 14.5 points feels like way too many to me. But I will say if Kentucky comes out early and can't run the ball and Georgia scores pretty quickly on them and Kentucky gets out of their game plan, then I think Georgia can sort of have a lot of success if Kentucky sort of stops trying to run the football and tries to be something they're not on offense.
Yeah, and that I think is the key is make Devin Leary beat you with his arm, make those receivers catch the ball. Devin Leary actually didn't have a bad game against Florida, even though the stats don't look that great. There were a bunch of drops that killed them, but it didn't matter because Ray Davis was unstoppable in that game.
He was incredible, man.
And the Kentucky line was just battering Florida's D-line. But I do wonder if against a team that tries to be more like them, Georgia has a bigger advantage because what is Georgia but a better version of what Kentucky wants to be?
Oh, no, you're right. I think that's the point I was trying to make is like if Georgia's able to shut them down, then what are they going to hold Georgia to 24 points, 27 points, and they're going to, it has a possibility of getting a little bit out of hand. I would still take Kentucky in the points here. I don't have a great feel for this one. But you're right about, there is a chance that this does get to be a Georgia wins this game by 35 and we are like, oh, Georgia's back. Here we go. Let's go.
Or although I could see Georgia dominating this game and winning by 13 and Kentucky covers. That's the problem I have picking this game is it feels like it. I don't have.
That was Georgia Tennessee last year, right? They won by 14, but just like kicked their ass. It didn't even it felt like 45. Game. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's the part I can't figure out is because I don't have a good feeling about Kentucky winning the game, but I don't really know where the final falls. Yeah. So this will be the last time I do it. Unless it happens, then I'll do it again. I am going to say that Georgia finally has a fast start, comes out of the gate smoking, and plays 4 quarters the same way. So I'll take Georgia to cover, and I will never do it again if they don't.
Last time.
I'm done. Yeah, I'm done with it if they don't, because this is too many times they've caught me.
Yeah.
We picked Georgia Auburn last week, and I picked them to cover, and they didn't because that's maybe not who they are. But I keep thinking that they'll eventually round into form, and then they're just going to blow somebody's doors off this better be the week or I'm
it's
out.
Possible. It's certainly possible. Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching. Just a reminder, subscribe to this channel right here so you never miss an episode of Andy Staples on 3. And oh, by the way, watch all the other great videos on the On3 Sports YouTube channel.